Different methods of cooking. Baking. This involves applying a dry convection heat to your food in an enclosed environment. The dry heat involved in the baking process makes the outside of the food go brown and keeps the moisture locked in. Baking is regularly used for cooking pastries, bread, and desserts. Frying. This means cooking your food in fat. There are several variations of frying. Deep frying, where the food is completely immersed in hot oil. Stir frying, where you fry the food very quickly on a high heat in a oil. Pan frying, where food is cooked in a frying pan with oil. And sauteing, where the food is browned on one side and then the other with a small quantity of fat or oil. Frying is one of the quickest ways to cook with temperature typically reaching between 175 to 225 Celsius. Roasting. Roasting is basically a high heat form of baking, where your food gets drier and browner on the outside by initial exposure to a temperature of over 500. This prevents most of the moisture being cooked out of the food. The temperature is then lowered to between 425 and 450 to cook through meat or vegetable. Grilling. This is a fast, dry, and very heat way of cooking, where the food is placed under the intense radiant heat. You can use various sources of heat for grilling. Wood burning, coals, gas flame, or electric heating. Before grilling, food can be marinated or seasoned. A similar method of grilling is broiling. The heat source originates from the top instead of the bottom. Steaming. This means cooking your food in water vapor over boiling water. For this, it's handy to have a steamer, which consists of vessel with a perforated bottom placed on top of another containing water. Steam rises as the water boils, cooking the food in the perforated vessels above. Pouching. This involves a small amount of hot liquid, ideally at a temperature between 160 and 180. The cooking liquid is normally water, but you can also use broth, stock, milk, or juice. Common foods cooked by pouching include fish, eggs, and fruit. Simmering. This involves cooking liquid on the top of a stove in a pot or pan. It should be carried out on a low heat, and you will see bubbles appearing on the surface of the liquid as your dish cooks. Broiling. Similar to grilling, the heat source comes directly from the top. You should be able to adjust your oven setting to broiling, but be careful as this cooking method works quickly and your meal could easily become burned. Favorite dishes for broiling include chicken, beef, and fish. Blanching. Here the food is part cooked and then immediately submerged in ice-cold water to stop the cooking process. All sorts of vegetables can be blanched, including green beans, asparagus, and potatoes. Braising. First, the food is sauteed or seared, and then simmered in liquid for a long period of time until tender. Both routes, stews, and casseroles can be cooked in this way if they contain larger food items such as poultry legs. Stewing. Again, the food is sauteed or seared first, and then cooked in the liquid, but normally uses smaller ingredients such as chopped meats or vegetables.